This is my official preview and predictions for the biggest show of the year for the WWE WrestleMania 40. We obviously know the WWE WrestleMania, it's the biggest show of the year. It's the Super Bowl of the WWE. Hell, I'll even go beyond and say it that it's the Super Bowl of professional wrestling. I mean, you have all these other independent wrestling shows, even some other wrestling companies putting on their own respective shows during WrestleMania weekend. So that should tell you right away how big and how important WrestleMania is, how important WrestleMania was when it first came out all the way back in the day. It's now 40 years later. The WWE has the opportunity, I think, to put on an amazing WrestleMania. A WrestleMania, I think, that we can look back at if everything goes right, because the WWE, you could tell they're pushing their chips to the table. They're going all in for this show. This show can be unlike any other. You know, we could look back at this show again, 2, 3, 5, I'll even say 10 years later and be like, you know what? That WrestleMania 40, I'll never forget it. April 6th, Saturday night, April 7th, Sunday night, WrestleMania 40, Lincoln Financial Field, the city of brotherly love, Philadelphia. You just had to be there. Like, you just had to be there. So, with that being said, I'm gonna go ahead and get to my predictions, and yeah, this again, this should be a really good WrestleMania. I think that the stories being involved in this show, um, it's not the official tagline, but you can tell that the unofficial tagline of this show is finishing the story, because the majority of the superstars are trying to do that, finishing their story. So we got this matchup right here. This was just announced last night on SmackDown. You know, we got Bianca and Naomi, and the official in-ring debut for WWE case, Jade Cargill taking on Damage Control. Kind of saw this was coming from a mile away, especially how Damage Control was attacking Naomi and Bianca, and then they had the stare down with Jade a couple weeks ago, so you kind of knew that this was viewing. Now, I do think Jade, Naomi, and Bianca get the win here. This is going to be an easy night for them. You know, sorry, Damage Control, but they got to take the loss here. And, this is a way for Jade to, like, show out now that she's officially part on SmackDown. And, this is her WrestleMania, like, big moment. You know what I mean? So the next match I do want to talk about, they haven't put the match card up yet, but it's the tag match. It's Dragon Lee and Rey Mysterio versus Dominic and Santos Escobar. And cool moment for Dragon Lee. This match was also announced last night on SmackDown, so they're probably still putting the match card together. But I do think Rey Mysterio and Dragon Lee do win the match to get, pay back on Santos for, doing what he did. And you're thinking, what the hell does Dominic have anything to do with this? Well, Dominic clearly hates his deadbeat dad, so he's just getting involved with this because he, hates his dad, and in turn has a problem with Dragon Lee. And then again, Dragon Lee took his NXT North American title away, so you have that. But I want to address this too, because again, I think Rey Mysterio and Dragon Lee win. I've been hearing a few people online because Rey chose Dragon Lee last night on SmackDown, or 2 nights ago, I should say. I'm recording this video on a Saturday, even though it's a Sunday when you guys are watching it. But, people are saying that Carlito could turn on Rey Mysterio, which is like, I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm kind of getting a little sick and tired of people turning their backs on Rey. Like, he's such a nice guy. But anyways, let's get to the six-pack ladder matches for the Undisputed Tag Team titles. You got everybody on this, man. One Catch Republic, DIY, New Day, Awesome Truth, A-Town Down, and ultimately the champions that will be defending their titles, the Judgment Day, Damian Priest, Finn Balor. So, you know, I feel like this match could go either ways. Because I do think Awesome Truth do win the match, but I feel like they win in a way where they don't win all the titles. I think there's going to be a scenario, and this is just my little prediction, that R-Truth pulls the titles down, but he only pulls down the Raw Tag Team titles. And R-Truth is already celebrating. He's already celebrating. He's like, oh, we won the match. And, Miz is telling him, like, dude, like, we got to get the other titles. Like, what do you mean? And the reason why I say that, because I've been hearing some rumblings for a while that there's a possibility that the titles can get split up. And this could definitely be the way that they can do it if they go that route in a way. Yes, it's a little comedic, but hey, at the end of the day, the tag team titles are split. Now the tag team titles are for SmackDown, and now you got one for Raw. Because SmackDown has now a little bit of a tag team division now, and Raw obviously has their section of a tag team division. But they could just still keep the tag team titles the way they are. But I do think Austin True do win the match. I don't really see anyone outside of DIY. And I don't see Judgment Day retaining their titles. I don't. So if I had to pick one team, I do think Austin Truth do win. LA Knight versus AJ Styles. I gotta admit, man, their build up to this match has been really, really good. I feel like even some underrated. From attacking AJ Styles, attacking LA at the Chamber, to LA attacking him in AJ's house, getting arrested. This feud has been really, really good for both guys. And it gives both guys a spot, obviously, on WrestleMania. LA Knight deserves one. Definitely, AJ Styles, obviously, still, even where he's at, still helping out. I do think LA Knight does win. I do think LA Knight does go over. So, yeah, that's pretty much about it. LA Knight wins. So, there you have it. But I got to commend both guys that the build-up has been really good. Okay, so never thought in a million years you would say this, but Jay versus Jimmy, Jay Uso versus Jimmy Uso, Uso versus Uso, twin brother versus twin brother, Yeet versus no Yeet. Yeah, it's crazy. These guys have done everything together, and now for the first time they're facing each other at WrestleMania. We went from Owen Hart to versus Bret Hart to Matt versus Jeff Hardy, Undertaker versus Kane, even though they're not really brothers, but storyline purposes. And then now you got Jay and Jimmy. So, once again, the tradition of brothers facing each other at WrestleMania stays alive, even at WrestleMania 40. But Jay's winning this match. The only way I honestly see Jimmy winning it if they were to continue this feud after WrestleMania, like going to Backlash and Jimmy wins. But I think Jay wins, man. I think Jay goes over. That pop is going to be huge. The hand that he does, Jay, is going to go crazy. But everybody's saying Yeet, man. There's probably going to be that good little portion of people saying no Yeet, but everybody going to be chanting Yeet, man. Jay Uso winning this match, man. Like, there's really no way to it. Yeah. So, Jay wins. Jay goes over. Okay, Gter versus Sami Zayn. Like I said earlier, the story implications of a lot of these matches. In this one, you could definitely tell there's a story heading into it. Sami just can't beat Gter. I mean, that's the big story heading into this match. Like, Sami is just not tough enough to beat Gter. Chad Gable telling him straight up, like, you can't win. Like, Adrian, when Rocky said he was fighting Drago, she was like, you can't win. A lot. Speaking of Chad Gable, I want to address this because I don't think I never really addressed this on the channel before. But a lot of people obviously pissed off and like, hey, this should be Chad Gable's moment. This should be Gable's moment. And in a sense, they could have obviously made it Chad Gable versus Gter, and maybe even went the route of triple threat. But hey, I'm not mad with this. I'm not mad with Sami versus Gter. They had a match a couple months ago on Raw, which was really good, and I think they have the ability to step it up really this time. I do think Gter retains though, but it's going to be a scenario where Sami comes so close. Like they do the scenario where Sami is about to win. Like you actually think for that split second, like, holy crap, Sami's going to win. He's going to be Intercontinental Champion. But Gter somehow pulls it off and retains the title. I just think they're going that route. I just don't see Sami beating Gter tonight. And, who knows, they continue, again, that story of Sami. You got to really, really work hard to beat Gter. So we'll see what happens. But as far as the match goes, I got Gter winning. Okay, triple threat KO, Logan, Randy for the U.S. title. Yeah, Logan's going to win this one. I don't see I love Randy, obviously, but I just don't see him winning. I don't really see Kevin Owens winning. KO and Randy are playing buddy now, but they're not playing. But they're not gonna be able to play buddy at WrestleMania. So, but it should be a good match. I just don't think we're gonna see a new champion. I think Logan wins here. I think he retains the title, and there's really nothing more to it, to be honest with you. So Logan retains. I know a lot of people ain't gonna like that, but it is what it is. Okay, so Io Sky versus Bailey for the title, for the women's title. Man, I'm really looking forward to this one, man. I I gotta tell you, man. I think this could be one of the most underrated matches of the weekend. Io is truly good at what she does in the ring. Bailey, obviously good, and I think obviously the story being so huge with Damage Control, people are saying this match at the main event, but we all know it won't go main event with the whole bloodline getting involved. I want to say Bailey wins. I really want to say Bailey wins, but then again, it's like Io could easily retain the title because I can see this story stretching beyond WrestleMania. But with WrestleMania being the end all be all and the night for big moments, I think this would be the night where Bailey wins. And Io, she's been champ for like a couple months now, so she's had a good little reign as champion. I just think WrestleMania will very well be Bailey's night. So I think Bailey wins. I think Bailey goes over, and I think Bailey wins the title and really shows Damage Control like, hey, what you did to Bailey, that was messed up. But then again, they can also do that scenario where Io wins. If Bailey wins, cool, let's go. But if Io wins, I'm not gonna be mad. To be honest with you all, I'm not gonna be mad because they could go that route as well. But again, this is a predictions video, so I'll just go ahead and predict Bailey to win. Mommy versus the man versus Mommy, Rhea Ripley versus Becky Lynch for the women's title. Okay, they had a match a couple years ago in NXT, and I remember that match too. I remember watching it live and was like, man, this is really good. Becky obviously during that height was dope. Rhea just getting started out. I remember being like, yeah, Rhea's definitely gonna. You could tell like she's gonna be something one day. And now look, these two women are in the main matches of WrestleMania. Who would have thought? But obviously the story, Becky wanting to prove herself. She feels like she needs to prove that she is better than Rhea because obviously Rhea has been on a course where you could say she's better than Becky, popular than Becky. I mean, y'all know Rhea Ripley popular as hell. Um, and I want to say Becky wins. I really want to say Becky wins, but I do think Rhea's gonna retain here. I have that feeling that Rhea's gonna retain here. But the reason why I would low key have Becky win because honestly, you know, you hear everybody talk about how Roman Reigns' title reign has been stale and oh Roman, I'm done with Roman. I feel like Rhea's title reign has been stale. Rhea has had some moments in her during her 1 year title reign. Because you got to think she won the title like literally a year ago against Charlotte, and I say like outside the like when she had her match with Zelina at Backlash, the way they did that match was really cool. And then she had that match with Natalia on Raw, which was pretty cool. And then recently, the build up, the feud, and the match with Nia at Elimination Chamber was pretty good. Outside of those three women I just named, everything else during this entire year long Rhea Mommy reign, I feel like Rhea just hasn't done anything to make you go like, oh my god, like this woman is amazing. And I'm not saying Rhea is terrible. I'm not saying she's overrated in the ring because Rhea's talented as hell. There's a reason why she's popular. There's a reason why she's the champion. It's just that I feel like her title reign just hasn't necessarily been all that impressive. Like I feel like she spent a good portion of her title reign being a valet to Dom than she was actually being the champion. And it wasn't really up until the end of the year of last year and then into this year where I feel like she really started to focus on the division, her division, she would call it. So I just think, Becky winning the title would be cool. And again, plays into that story that Becky is surely just as good, if not better than Rhea. But I think Rhea retains here. I feel like, with how Rhea, again, is being presented, it's just, she gonna be one of those people who was gonna walk out of Mania still champion. So I think Rhea retains here, man. But this should be a good match, though. Nevertheless, this should be a really good match, and I'm really excited to see how it's gonna go. But prediction wise, I got Rhea winning. Excuse me. Seth freaking Rollins versus Drew McIntyre. Now, if you've if you're still listening to the prediction video, which I appreciate, you know, I haven't said which matches are going to be on night one or night two. And the only matches that we know so far that are going to specifically take place on night one and night two is the tag match and obviously the Cody Roman main event. But I believe this match, I heard a couple weeks ago that this match will be the semi-main event for night two, which obviously with the tag match, it honestly seems like they'll be going that route. But nevertheless, Rollins, McIntyre for the world title. As much as the bloodline stuff has been good, I've enjoyed this build up with Drew and Seth. I've enjoyed the promos they've cut on one another. The CM Punk segment, obviously. Speaking of which, CM Punk will be the special guest commentator for this match. So he will be ringside. I don't know if he's gonna wear Triple H's blazer like he did a couple years ago, but we'll see. He might. But CM Punk's definitely getting involved in this match. And, I think CM Punk plays a role into Seth losing this match. You know how they're going to do it. They're going to get in his face. Punk's going to, Punk said it. If I'm pushed, I'm going to push back. So one of these two are going to get in his face. Presumably, probably Punk. Punk gets involved, and it leads to Drew winning the title. So I do think Drew wins the title here, and he deserves it. Drew never got his moment in front of fans. He definitely deserves it. Rollins, you could tell Rollins after being the workhorse that he is, and he talked about it with his injuries and stuff. Rollins deserves a break, so he could be definitely going on hiatus after WrestleMania. I can definitely see that, but I think Damian might cash in though. Drew wins the match, but Damian cashes in, and Damian wins the world title. And I know we're probably already long in this video, but I'm just going to go ahead and say it. They might do a scenario where they do that. Damian wins the title, but Damian doesn't hold the title for that long. Or Damian might fail his cash in, but I think Damian might win. I think Damian might cash in. So we're going to get a new world champion, I think, at WrestleMania, but it ain't going to be Drew McIntyre. And that's going to really piss Drew McIntyre off, too. That's really going to... He going to bring back that damn sword. What does he call it? Angela. And we might see an actual, on live TV. So, but as far as this match goes, I think Drew goes over. So, the biggest tag match in WrestleMania history. Shoot, I think some people are saying WWE history. I mean, look at this. The star power, man. Seth Rollins, Cody Rhodes, Roman Reigns, the Tribal Chief, the head of the table, The Rock, the final boss, the People's Champion, versus Seth Rollins, the World Champion, and the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes. Wow. I say wow because it's insane how everybody, was saying how, oh my God, The Rock, we don't need The Rock for WrestleMania. Rock sucks. Get him off our TV. And this whole freaking feud has been one of the most exciting things leading into WrestleMania. The Rock beating up Cody on Raw. I mean, Jesus, dude. Just imagine what their face-off is going to be tomorrow night on Monday Night Raw. It's just, I mean, dude, like, I can go on and on and on. But everybody knows how good the build-up has been. Everybody's had their moments, really, outside of Roman. But yeah, I've been enjoying this feud. I don't know from a match standpoint if it's going to be all that, because you also got to question, The Rock hasn't wrestled since WrestleMania 29. That was 2013. It's been over 10 years, But I think from a story driven, it's going to be a lot in this match. So I don't really necessarily see The Rock busting out these crazy moves, you know what I'm saying? Like 97 or something like that. But he'll do something. He'll do something. I do think the Bloodline does win though. Like they're going over Cody and Rollins here. I don't think Rollins is going to turn on Cody. I don't know where people are necessarily getting that. They're presenting that idea. They should do something where they have Rock and Roman have some tension with each other. You know what I'm saying? Like that they really, I think they should do that, but or they could do that, but like I said, we'll see what happens. But this tag match is gonna be huge. And again, for everyone saying, "Oh, it should main event," dude, this is the biggest tag match. Come on, it has to main event. And what a cool moment, not just for Seth Rollins, but for Roman Reigns. These guys started together in the Shield, and now they're main eventing WrestleMania against each other. Little side note here, it just sucks that we still never got that Shield main event match at WrestleMania a few years back. That would have been dope. And now, the main event, Roman Reigns versus Cody Rhodes, part 2. Last year, man, everybody, we were all like, even I will admit, I was like, dang, I don't know where they're going to go with this, man. With Cody and Roman. And the idea of them doing a rematch at WrestleMania 40 never even popped up into my head until I want to say like a little into the feud with Brock that I realized, oh, they might do that because they're clearly letting Cody face a little bit of adversity, and then they're going to build him back up, and they're going to have him face Roman at WrestleMania, and here we are. It's the underdog story, Rocky Balboa, and ironically because they're in Philadelphia. But man, is this match about to be overbooked as hell. This is, last year was Avengers Infinity War. This is Avengers Endgame. Dude, the Bloodline has caused so much shit for the past 2, 3, 4 years, and now this is where they get their comeuppance. This is where the Bloodline gets their ass whooping that they deserve, presumably. Rollins, well, I don't know if Rollins might get involved. I don't know, but Jay, obviously. And then you have the possibility of John Cena showing up, Stone Cold showing up, Randy Orton, Sami Zayn. Everyone that the Bloodline has done wrong, everyone that the Bloodline has screwed over are pretty much going to get involved. And it's that sequel from, again, Endgame, where everybody came in to fight Thanos and his army. And Iron Man, did what he did to Thanos. So, with that being said, Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns, just like last year, man, I got to go with the American Nightmare. I have to go with Cody Rhodes because it's like, what else can you do? And I know everyone's at this point like done with Roman. I still like Roman. I like the Tribal Chief. I love the Roman, character. Everything about Roman has been amazing. But what else can you do? Who else can he feud with? And you can't, because people have been coming up with this and that, saying, oh, but he's got to break Hogan's record. He's got to break Hogan's record. It's like, dude, like, man, this doesn't matter. It doesn't matter, man. Like, Roman has built himself up. He doesn't need it. Him breaking Hogan's record, he doesn't need it. And we have gone past those days of guys holding the title for 400,000 days. Like, yeah, they could do it easily back in the day. You can't really do it in this time period. Times have changed. And, man, there's so much more I could really say about it, but I already know I'm long in this video. Long story short, if Cody loses, I'm speechless, really, because I really don't think there's really nothing else you couldn't do. WWE took a gamble, and it paid off. They took a gamble last year with Cody losing at WrestleMania, and now look what happened. So that's what I think is going to happen. But that being said, Cody wins. Cody finishes the story. Does The Rock turn on Roman Reigns? I don't necessarily think The Rock is going to turn on Roman Reigns. Again, I think there's a scenario where there's friction and it leads to Roman losing, and Roman blames The Rock, and that ultimately leads to a match at WrestleMania 41. If they go that route. But like I said, we'll see what the WWE does. I'm going to go ahead and end the predictions video. I hope you guys enjoyed it, man. And if you've watched to the end of this video, I really appreciate it. So